The dust has settled on map number 1 of our Group A decider match. It is Kinguin, it is Red Reserve, and it is now Red Reserve against the ropes. They're going to have to put it all into this next one as we transition into Overpass. Connor, Scrawny, Gervin, Mohan, Launders, Govinda, Sammy?
It's Sami, but you always say Sammy, like a ham sandwich. Yeah. But it's Sami, but you're close.
I'm working on it, guys.
You're not wrong, but you're close.
We'll get there by the end of the event.
Hopefully. That'd be cool.
We'll get there.
One day left.
Launders?
Uh-huh.
Do you think...
Nope. Red Reserve are not going to win it.
All right, so I won't ask my question. All right.
Yeah, I think initially, like, my prediction pre-game was that the Kinguin were going to drop a map probably, but I feel like they're just going to do the 2-0. I thought they would win either way, but maybe it's not going to be quite the dragger that we expected.
Again, like we look at the events that they've been attending as of late. You know, they attended the EU Zotac qualifier. They managed to best a bunch of other good European teams. They get to the main event. They go all the way to the grand finals, where they understandably lose to MIBR, a team formed of major champions.
Shame in that.
Plus Yanko, as if it wasn't already hard enough.
He's done a lot of majors himself.
Exactly. So now we see them here at DreamHack. Some issues with peripherals, whatever, may have caused some shaky moments in the opening day, but now they're looking good. I expect them to actually return to form. I expect them to pick this up 2-0, and I expect them to even make some waves tomorrow in the semi/finals, if they can continue to get that far. Only time will tell. And now it is time for all of you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy the second map. Red Reserve, they have chosen to be here. Let's see what they make of the opportunity.
What looks like a very simple B execute is on the menu for Red Reserve. Now they're just kind of going through the motions, making sure the flank's not imminent. Rollin goes to flash a few players out of the door, and so many pairs of footsteps are heard. At this point, it's clear.
Ooh, he's trying to pull the Tizian. Fire's not gonna make that happen. Mouse has to eject. And then 2 quick kills here for Red Reserve could give them the pistol. Freddie B cowers in the corner, and he can't connect his shot. Now Taz has even been given a chance at more. How has Manai survived that long? He does eventually die. Oh my goodness, but Taz has managed to pick himself up too. It puts it onto Rollin, and he's at a massive health disadvantage, but he can nail the shot if he anticipated the peak.
That was quite close. Taz dealing with those 2 people on Cat was definitely the highlight of the round for Kinguin, but apart from that, there was nothing else they could get out of it. It was a strong execute. The Molotov calls out the headshot position that was being played by the Tizian clone. We were going to start call that Tizian.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I had never seen a shot so sick.
Fairly nasty shot.
It is Tizian now.
That was a Tizian. Yeah, definitely. Head down at headshot barrels on B side on Overpass, and that's a Tizian.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, make sure you go check that out. Big clan at the major. Tizian. I mean, you'll find the clips. There was literally articles written about it.
Honestly, if you haven't seen it, you're a fake fan.
Yeah. Do you even Counter-Strike?
You Counter-Strike, bro?
Probably not. Filthy casuals. But here we have professionals, and professionals armed with pistols, Launders, can be...
Professionals with guns.
Very, very dangerous. Especially a guy like Manice, who was sitting in the corner, but again, we're going through the motions with Red Reserve. They're playing this with comfort. We saw the Molotov towards the barrels at the B site. We saw the Molotov's bottom connector. They're not falling for your gimmicks. They're not falling for your tricks.
These guys are not stupid.
Again, this, I think, will start to show as we progress through Overpass. This is where they would much rather be, as opposed to Dust 2. And I hope that that shows in their gameplay.
B-site gets run over. Bomb starts to go down. Here the numbers getting punched in, and the CTs have started to emerge. The blue men in the suits start to get kills. It's now Rowlin and Twist in a 1v1. Twist has a lot of ways that he can play this round, and Rowlin has to find him.
Yeah, around and around they go. Rollin's trying to get some kind of a peek, wants to bait him out into the open, but he doesn't have a kit, so he's going to stick on this for the time being, and Twist has not yet gone for the peek. He's going to try to go for the spam now, and the damage is there. Good thing the headshot connects, makes that spray down so much easier.
I was almost positive that he was going to get away with that. I think a lot of us sitting in our chairs were, but that was too long of a defuse to try to pull off incognito, ninja style. So Red Reserve win that.
Ninjas.
Ninja style. sorry. I didn't know what you just said.
It's
Go
okay.
Ninas.
Yeah. Oh, you got me. You are one slippery sliverfish.
Yeah, can't say snake. There's negative connotations.
Yeah. Ooh.
Cool animal, though.
I really wish we could have gotten into the biodome. The biodome, for those of you who don't know.
They've got polar bears in Montreal.
Yeah, and sloths. And monkeys.
Just a whole bunch of Canadian animals in the biodome.
I lied to you there. I'm sorry. Oh. I assumed this round was not going to be much to talk about. I thought we were just going to be able to, you know, throw in some biodome talk and be done with it. But
What it should be.
Kinguin has at least slowed Red Reserve down. I mean, we were talking 4 MAC-10s versus only unarmored pistols. Now it's starting to unravel really quickly, but it's just because it wasn't tested right away. They didn't want to run straight into the B-bomb site, which could have been costly. But the costs are few. The damage is there on both Freddy and Twist, but if they can both get away unscathed further, they'll be all right.
At this point, Mao's just as P250.
Rusty's dead.
Rusty's aware.
Rusty's alive.
Yeah, Rusty's killing it right now. Rusty's got a few thousand miles left in him.
It's nice to see him back. If I'm not mistaken, I feel like he fell into like...
Playing with a watch on? Oh, I guess this means keyboard hand, but...
Yeah, you've got to have the watch on the keyboard hand. I mean, listen, okay?
Left
it's about playing CS, but if you don't look good...
Yeah.
We had this conversation.
Wait, you're left-handed, but you still have watch on the left hand?
Yeah.
Is that strange for you?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not.
How do you feel? Do you feel like people look at you weird? People treat you differently, Connor?
Yeah, they bully me.
They Short people bully him. For something that he can't control.
No, it's not my fault.
Being left-handed.
Reitz has a strong position here with Maus giving him cover because nobody can actually push far enough to get him off of this. If he just takes a slight sidestep to the right, he'll be fine.
They've got 4 MAC-10s.
Still, yeah, move forward. Grandfathered from the previous round.
Oof. Some might call this a bonus. Reitz was a monster from last map. Definitely want to keep an eye on his sight holds. Mouse here as well. The 2 players that Taz also cited as fraggers, both playing the B site.
Still no contact's been made. Everybody starts to sweat. We've seen the utility thrown out from Kinguin. They've definitely been keeping this at bay and getting themselves closer and closer. You can even see that last remaining A player start his rotation down, so they're anticipating the B execution, but the advantage of the execution is that it's going to be blanketed in nades. If the kills are there for Kinguin, because the preparation is, then it will be shut down. Reitz with a trio of frags as he just barrels his way through Monster, dropping bomb, upgrading guns, and pushing this on to Freddy. But it's just not meant to be. He'll walk away, leaving a smoke in his path as he holds onto the M4, so he hopes. But he's got to be careful because he could actually die after time. Look at the way Reitz has moved so far forward. No, he'll be all right.
This is a complete swing of momentum for Kinguin to be able to win the round and for Reitz to get all 3 of those kills. Like, yes, it's just MAC-10s, but how often do we see the bonus round just result in the game just getting out of hand for the guys who already have rounds, right?
Yeah.
So Reitz just comes in here, make sure that not a single rifle is dropped on his site, and that's like all the money tonight as well is so big, and it's not a close round at all, and that means that Res Reserve, yeah, they still have their money to buy, they always had that, but they don't get that bonus money, and Kinguin now have so much left in the bank because of Reitz's heads-up individual play.
The GG bet odds still in favor of Kinguin as they have, again, a 1-map advantage, and seem to be shutting things down early if they can translate this round into another, because a reset early on could allow for Red Reserve to really stack up those T rounds. And that's when you want to stop them. Early.
Oh, my God.
Great damage from Reitz.
That's muscle memory, man. I mean, he's definitely lined that up where the barrel is hitting the fence, but to do that through a smoke at that distance, I mean, it was right in the face of Disco. It must have been a wallbang headshot. Unreal damage dealt. To set the pace, Disco wounded in the back. Now it's going to be much more reserved about the way that he plays. his position. Middle of the map taken for Red Reserve, something we like to highlight on Overpass as being extremely important for the terrorists. So in a precarious late round situation where you don't know what site you'd like to hit, you always have the option to fall back and have a 7-second rotate to B or to A. You're down in water and you get shut down.
Taz just caught crouching out from long, so we have a casualty now. Finally, the 30-second mark, a kill. Still no execution. This is going to get really frantic. Manice seems to think this is the B site when in reality it's still A. They will have this anchor on long. Brolin's not going to be able to clear it because there's a smoke in between, so Rollin could be in a big playmaker position if he's not sniffed out. He's inside of the smoke still. Manice is able to get the first kill, and sure enough, Rollin's going to walk through this at some point. The timing could be huge either way, because if Brolin gets him, then this retake's going to get so difficult, but they're literally side by side. Twist will save Brolin. He's the man that gets vision on him first, and sure enough, just like that, the CTs walk away.
So Brolin actually sat in that smoke and was waving his crosshair around, looking at the radar, so that he could tell his teammates if there was someone there before they'd be able to see each other.
Smart kid.
Big brain.
And the exits don't go smoothly, not at all. Freddy's gonna be trying to get this last one. Done, clean sweep versus Kinguin. They get a single round to the board and they are instantly turned away. Entry denied.
Must be looking like a streetwear model out here.
He's looking good.
Wide neck, striped shirt.
And still flying the colors of Red Reserve.
At the same time. It's a 2-for-1 special.
The old twofer. Yeah, that's a...
Oh! I didn't know it was like that.
Good job replay man, Gunnar.
Yeah.
Or Gunnar.
Gunnar. Shout out to you.
It's actually such a... It's such a blessing to be at events with replays. I feel like that's one of the biggest things I missed at Zotac. Was the fact that like you get these awesome plays and you can't re-enjoy them because you can enjoy them in the moment, but getting to watch it again in slow motion or just without the excitement or the franticness.
You've got to have your own machine and a guy.
And a guy.
That actually adds to.
There's not many guys like Gunnar.
You got to have a guy like Gunnar from the replay machine.
Now he's pretty much one of the only guns in this scenario because it's pistols. Not fun to be relegated back into sidearms. Everybody starts the game here, but you don't want to go back into this position. You know, you want to leave it all behind you.
Testament to how well handled that last round was. Incredibly important for Kinguin to try to win there. And they couldn't do it, and now they have to become a little bit more passive. Well, I mean, they don't have to be passive. They can go out and try to find kills, and in fact, I encourage it. But they've lost their scout already. And now hope that Red Reserve will make a mistake and run headfirst into their site. Still kind of a 50-50. Like, if you're Red Reserve right now, like, yeah, they got a kill. They still don't know which site is being stacked. They're still terrified. Trust me.
A little wall spam. A little music. And Disco Doplin's just trying to create a call to attention because the sites are set on the A site, opposite side of the map. Who's here? It's Taz. Years of experience, many accomplishments, but a very difficult challenge heads his way in the form of a 3-man train off of Long Vale Walk. Taz can no longer talk because the headshot connects and the bomb site crumbles. Kinguin have nothing in this one.
The only thing they had to be worried about there, and he has been neutralized. So that's a simple round for Red Reserve. They are well on their way to getting enough rounds to feel confident no matter what happens here on Overpass. Disco Doplin gonna spot the remaining players and just goes to town with a couple of nice taps for the fans.
Yeah. That's who he's doing it for. Fans and the ladies.
The ladies. The 1% of the audience that is watching with prying eyes.
This is good for Red Reserve. Think of the way their cash was in question after they lost that bonus with nothing, and now...
Does your girlfriend watch Counter-Strike, Sophie?
When I cast it.
When you cast it?
Yeah, she's a very supportive girlfriend.
Okay, that's cool.
Love her to death, but she's a League player.
A League player.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell people that, but I gotta...
We've all got our flaws.
Exactly.
You know, you've got to be understanding.
Here we go, Mohan. This is what I love, gun rounds. Although, it's not perfect. No kit, light utility. We'll see if any early kills happen because we've had fast clashes and very slow affairs as well. Man, that's a lot of early grenades. I mean, remember, we just mentioned the minimal amount of CT utilities. And they've thrown out everything other than the smokes. Hold the smokes, because if you hold down the smoke grenades, you can use these at the very tight choke points of these bomb sites in order to delay the execution. And if you can delay the execution long enough, you're going to have Red Reserve coming in at 20 seconds, so you think, when in reality, they're creeping in. Reed can't stop them. Brolin just continues on, and he's so good at those entry kills. He's so good at getting himself space for his teammates to work in. By the time Disco Doplin shows up, the job pretty much done, but he gets his name on the assignment regardless.
There are 2Ks, and then there's Brolin entry 2Ks.
Yeah.
Nasty ones where basically everyone comes out healthy, and 2 players are dead before they can even throw utility. And there, his play was even telegraphed by the shadow that he put out as he walked out Monster. So, I mean, he didn't have the opportunity to, like, he wasn't given a free kill because of a pop flash. He was just leading a walkout, right, into what should have been the deaths of everybody at Red Reserve. Kinguin were very well aware of the threat that was about to hit them. But even then, Brolin still gets those kills. Like, last map, we saw that incredible long entry with a 180. And it seems like he's just got very strong focus, trained eyes, and great reactions.
T side that shows no signs of stopping. You can see them trying to play again with the timing, but Brolin, first headshot, second headshot, nearly a third, does go down to that man. I mean, if you can crack open an entire site alone, then you're allowed to die when the
Crack
third
open a
challenge
beer as well.
Yeah, exactly. Take a sip by. Actually, he's 16 years old.
Okay.
What are you condoning?
I actually don't know if in Sweden.
I don't know. Sweden's pretty liberal.
They're chill.
Brolin, yet again. Ooh, this time caught with no gun in hand.
When he has his gun out, he's really good.
Yeah, not so smooth with a knife. Still, sometimes does cut through people like butter. Not this round. He falls.
Rusty gives that guy tetanus.
Ugh. Diseases. And Disco Doplin dancing inside of the short water. Easy 2K versus the pistol players. Remember, it was only Taz and Manice that had themselves weapons this round. And while the M4 got something done, the AWP has yet to been in a position to do anything here. It is rotating its way down towards the B bomb site, just anticipating some kind of an overzealous push. But because of the HP, because of the advantage that they already hold on to, not too necessary in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I can go ahead and recycle the AWP, but that just becomes a tiring affair when you just held on to it for so long. You're not able to actually like win the round for your team. Your front men are dying, and then they're rotating off of your site. It's like, how much can you do? Potentially for Manice, he could be used a little bit better if he was taking first contact. If he was the man who could control the pace at the beginning of the round. Maybe that's what they need to do. We've seen Manice hit some incredibly important op shots. I mean, we know that he's very proficient on T side especially, but on TP side, it's honestly easier to get that done. So love to see him be weaponized more, and I think that if it's him being scared, there's no excuse, but I don't think he's scared. It might be that he's not offered up the right spawns depending on the round, which is a big thing. Okay, he's actually got the best spawn. We know that even coming out of the camera right there, he's not going to go ahead and use it. It's actually going to support in this situation. And again, this is something that Kinguin have tried.
And they're not going to meet anybody over towards Playground. It's Red Reserve rapidly moving their way closer to the B bomb site. Rusty the first to fall, but it is traded immediately. And Reese has been softened up. Whoa, Taz decides to go charging forward. He is not content with leaving this one even keeled. No 4v4 for you.
That was nice. I mean, Taz just saw that they had rushed up short with multiple people. He wasn't totally sure that there wasn't going to be more people waiting for him. Oh my god, Brolin just nails 2 again in the B site.
The double kill comes not from an entry frag, it comes from a wall bang. Does one better. And now we are even. Despite Taz's best efforts, we've been left For the 2v2, the barrel gives him away. Freddie B punishes the peak, and there you go. Twist in position to seal the deal. 8-1. Let's just move to train.
Roland's a Togepree, man. He's the special kid right now. He's just when it matters. Oh, he barely saw Taz. I mean, it might have been his gun barrel waving across for a second.
Use the M4A4, folks.
Yeah, that is the commercial right there.
Let's see, this time it's Menace alone as he moves his way up towards the forefront of the washrooms. They want to go for that heavy deep offsite stack. They want to size up their opponent first. We've seen Kinguin in a lot of rounds have lackluster utilities, and this one no exception.
Menace, again, just been ultra passive, not taking any action early on. This is strange. They've got Roland right behind Menace, who also has the other op. Even better, are they wasting time with this setup? Could they have been better off having a rifler support, or even have Menace more forward with the op on a different part of the map? Not sure how the kills are going to go, but it's really been B-site that has been the struggle. At a certain point in bathrooms, Red Reserve have not even tackled A at all, and here at least the op shot goes off behind him. Menace is here to capitalize if anybody else gets aggressive, and he might be offered up a frag here, but there's already one kill on the board for Red Reserve.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a fallback either. He's going to be just straight up in the open. Does make it happen. And okay. I thought Twist would maybe find an angle on him, but no. He's afforded himself a reposition and potentially a second peek as he makes a bit of a ruckus up towards bathrooms. It's in fact the double monster push that nets the next kill. Menace could grab the double, but no, he gets back around the corner, isolates the frags, and one after another, they'll fall.
Okay, you know, take it all back. It was a nice 3K for Menace, and he had that aggression that I really definitely wanted to see. Came in a little bit late. Not sure if he wanted his teammate to go until kind of play the gauntlet and see how many kills he could get before he decided to push up. But this is the kind of action we wanted to have come out of Menace, where he actually tried to make a foray outside of the bathrooms and initially take first contact. But here he found a way to do it in the late round.
Some Molotov action, the utility that we haven't seen too much of, will curb back that what has been fast peek into water. We've seen it a many time. Disco Doppelin now resides in this position. Not only a good spot to punish any kind of eventual creep forward, but also really good at just trying to get audio cues from guys like Rollin. And information's half the battle. Execution the second.
I must agree with. Red Reserve tethered off of Disco Doppelin, swinging wide around the A site, taking over long control at 50 seconds left, and everybody from Kinguin is in their passive spots as they have been playing. Seen very unique reactions from them in the face of adversity on anyone pushing upon map control. Twist, will he hit this? Very quick shot! He does! Nails Taz to the wall behind the APC and bank.
And now Menace feeling still the confidence from the previous round. He has been a very real nuisance in this position. Disco Doppelin's been given an opportunity to move forward here, but Freddie B falls just behind him. Disco could be just slipping past, but no, he too denied entry. Everybody's tickets are being punched, and Brolin has to plant the bomb. He needs to commit to this now. No one's going to be able to stop him. And it's still the 2 versus 4, but there's 2 tagged targets on the other side. Not playing into the favor of Kinguin. Opt from Menace, not going to line up the shot. Brolin could just continue the spray down. He could hit so many targets, but he only does take one with him. Look at the minimal HP here for Reitz and Maus. Very different story could have unfolded there on the B site.
Is this too late? I mean, it's too weird because it feels like Red Reserve are just going to run away with this, and now Kinguin win a very respectable round with a bunch of people left over. 8 rounds is not enough to win the game, but they have like a 3-4 round lead to work with.
Yeah, still many chances to further this. Half of the pause is now gone. Red Reserve call their second.
As for their strategy in that previous round, I think there wasn't much changed with how they approach things. They spend the early round clearing out the safe parts of bathrooms, work down the stairs as they've always been given upstairs control, and then went into B. One thing from Kinguin that I'd love to see more of is I think they have A lockdown. They feel very confident if anyone pushes up close, but a lot more stairs control, a lot more short control on B to get the early kills and just deny anybody from going out there, because I feel like that can be very CT-sided with the correct utility, and they've had that a number of rounds.
I feel as well Kinguin have just been going straight up for these heavy B presences, but we've seen what was originally 2 or 3 guys over up towards A falling into only 1 early game. So because you don't have many players there early, you've got not much confidence for Manise because he realizes he's a liability. He cannot be the person to die, leaving 4 on the other side of the map. So while Taz sure enough does come back, it's not giving him much space to exert himself. I mean, contrast that to the way we saw Luminosity play aggressive CT side on Overpass yesterday, and I think you'll have yourself a very good comparison of stylistic differences.
Double-sided setup at long B, but Reed instantly dying is a terrible sign for Kinguin. Now we'll see the frantic adjustment as he is replaced on the left side of Monster. And I'm not sure what his teammate is doing. Rollin kind of moving back and forth. They understand they have to kind of pick up each other's jobs now. Workloads increase. They're all on OT, but they're not getting any extra money.
Ooh, now we've got this rotation up towards the A site, which allows for Manise to move forward, but he's doing it late. We've got 30 seconds on the clock, and now the utility presence gives way as to what has unfolded. Red Reserve blanket the B bomb site. They walk right in and plant for free. Brolin hasn't been given a chance to duel, and you know that's what he wants. To pop skulls, smash heads. And he falls. Mouse gets him straight away. Twist, his attention pulled because of that frag, and because of it, it starts to snowball forward here. 4 versus 3, and Taz still up and above, tries to give cover downwards as the kills just continue to trickle in. One after another, Red Reserve dying in the afterplant, but still this bomb is closed. Disco Doblin continues the spray, and Rusty will get the man off. But the time's gonna be close, and he's got it.
Just enough. And it's just as you alluded to that I really liked was that because of a kill, Twist had his attention turned and he died.
Instantly.
And it's the chain reaction that's so important to point out when in a retake, if you get the most important kill, everybody else's protocol suddenly change. And that becomes way too confusing to handle. You know, everyone expects a certain level of consistency from their teammates when they have particular setups. And for one person to die means that if everybody's gonna have to go off the cuff on the adjustments, and that can make things really sketchy, I'd say. And now Kinguin with that 4th round probably feeling very, very confident. The bomb plant was in for Red Reserve, so the economy is still strong, but now Kinguin are definitely back on their feet. Solid game in terms of how much utility they've got. The thing is, though, we're not seeing an adjustment in terms of how much map control they're going for. I feel like they're still being timid. Stairs has just been Red Reserves for free every single round. They work out to short. They have this. You know, they've moved in and they haven't even signed a lease.
That's dangerous for both parties.
Shouldn't be this much free real estate on Overpass. It's a map where CT aggression is encouraged, and there are so many different setups that you can use to take it safely.
This one is the change up, but we'll see if that long bathrooms presence has any effect on the outcome of the round. Right now, we've got the mobile totem pole. Disco Doppler trying to get eyes or an angle into the bomb site. Taz still trying to commit to the corner, and he does find himself the side of Brolin, but he's lost his teammate behind, and as he fixated forward, he's dropped by the op. So it seems like Red Reserve won't stop in collecting these rounds. They'll look for the clash towards the B site. The bread and butter is what has been the key to this T side. B falls again, Launders. Again and again and again. Again
and again, yeah, they love the site. And the thing is that this is something I also mentioned that when we talked about on Mirage yesterday. Actually, protecting these weapons is kind of key for Kinguin, who are in a precarious spot. Economically, Mouse tries to play it aggressively, but with the help of a boost, a However, the health is not there. It's clear Manise has made one play and has to work around the smoke, only to get pushed into the crosshair of Twist. Small smile from Rusty because he realizes that they're well on their way to taking map 2.
And he also knew he was right, that someone was somewhere in that smoke.
Yeah. I know you can't boost from that side. Can you? I don't. No way.
Come out wherever you are.
I don't know, man. The thing is, they are doing the same thing at the end of the round every time. There, they approach the early round a little different. Again, it's about masking your intentions. And the Kinguin have been a victim of this over and over again, where I think to them, it feels like they are getting a lot of action at A. But are they recognizing that a lot of these rounds are ending on the other half of the map?
I feel so, because again, we see this immediate transition right back into what has been present since the get-go, a 4-1 setup. Like when we see Manise being set up to succeed towards the aggressive A site, and that's when things really get rolling for him. But as opposed to just sitting inside the B site, as we've seen previously from Kinguin, they do take the initiative. That's very important at times.
For sure.
It barely works out because look at the HP remaining on Reitz. It could have been an easy 5 versus 3. But they will be giving themselves something to work with here. They dwindle away the numbers of Red Reserve, who still confidently walk forward, clearing corners. And Manise could go even further to give chase to the tail end of this Bathrooms push. They do clear the upper room, and so they double back. And by the time they get back into position, it seems like Manise has repositioned. Again, nearly a collateral. He will not escape. Brolin taking him down, keeping things as even as can be. And this time the HP is even split 50-50. But as has happened previously, you'd think they go to the B bomb site. That's what they're trying to do with Freddy. He's going to be trying to sell the fake as Brolin gives the gut punch to Taz. Disembowel as he tries to hide in the corner, and while Freddy clears the B site, the bomb continues on towards A. Reitz has 13 health and no way of stopping the plant. He could punish Brolin. He knows he's close. He hears him and sees him. Brolin, don't do it to him. Give the man a chance.
Right in the side. Got to work that body. And oh my God, Red Reserve win another round. What happens there, Connor, if he doesn't get that kill? I mean, if it's a 2-on-2, it's a whole different round. Taz picks up an AWP, but instead, Brolin, 15 HP here in this clip. You can't see it because of the UI, but crouches under the bullets of Taz. Would have died to any single one of those.
What's sick as well is that while the scope, or excuse me, the barrel of the sniper gave way to what Brolin was doing, it was the moment his body came around the corner that he crouched.
Right.
So his positioning changed. Taz knows he's anticipating the kill. He wants that headshot, and then all of a sudden, whoop, he's gone.
Sold him a bill of goods.
Smooth stuff. This round comes off of an aggressive little clash off of the pistols. Taz even trying to overface, wants himself an extra fight, bites off more than he can chew. And this one's not been smooth. Sometimes we start to see this. You get towards the end of the half and things get a little shaky. Your success can only last so far. You start making hiccups. You're not as thorough. The pressure's not on, right? Some people...
ASI Logan Paul round 6. Where you forget your training completely. Gloves come off. It's a bare knuckle fist fight. Nobody wins.
Ooh, this could be a huge flank. Oof. Now, the question is, it comes down to timing. Rollin's going to be caught here by 3 Ts, and now they could just charge down, but no, they're going to double back, and Manise, he's going to only get 1 because Twist has the presence of mind to turn around, and now he's just going to gun towards the bomb site. Reitz knows it's coming his way, but what's he going to do? 18 bullets, 12 in the mag, 6 extra if needed, and an individual peek that could have cost Twist himself, but nope, he's got himself a little cover, cowers behind the corner. Reitz down to 5 shots. That is all that's left. And 1 through the head will do it. Very good T-side from Red Reserve.
Overall, like, it wasn't the best overpass, I'd say, from Kinguin to say, like, wow, that was a really strong half.
Absolutely.
But they definitely did their part, right? They showed up to the fight. So that was That was some nice trading. I think that the spacing was really good. They picked all the right rounds to be patient. They recognized how to beat up on B, and I feel like Kinguin just spent too much of their attention like having 2 ops at A in one situation, or having a 4-man B stack but giving it up by going for the push and then not actually finding another way to capitalize on information. There were some strange things. I feel like you can tell that this is not obviously Kinguin's map choice. As for Red, they'll move into the second half with an added level of comfortability if they weren't already feeling at home there on T side. And Kinguin will have their feet be foot to the flame. But this is where we really will see how comfortable they are on Overpass.
I feel like Red Reserve have just taken the place of Kinguin in terms of comfort. From Dust 2 to Overpass. Starting to see different sides of each team. Of course, if that third map is needed, folks, we'll be heading over to Train. Possibly see with the station, unless we have a killer T-side back from the poles. A couple of taps and Twist falls back. You don't want to overdo it.
It's very easy to overstay your welcome when peeking A as a USP'er. Just first spawn out on any given rounds, and there he got so much information. Kinguin kind of shown their hand. But with this setup, they're actually going very quick. I like that they're tethering off Rowlin to use him to stop any rotations, to hear for things, and also clean up the remaining players at bathrooms. And he gets shot in the back of the head, assassinated by Brawlin, who has been terrorizing for Kinguin. But he's far back now, and the bomb's down.
Yeah, there's a player coming up from the top of bathrooms as well who could very easily skewer this attempted retake. That will be Manice, who upgrades into the USP as Rusty and Freddy B get themselves a couple kills back the other way. So it is even 2v2 turned 1. Disco Doplin has slowly crept up from the B bomb site. The bomb's actually planted for him. It's not on the same side as the terrorist, so now this is going to force them into the open, and he could take both duels. He doesn't have a kit on him, and the time could be too far gone. He had to hit that shot and jump immediately back onto the bomb, but no, it is the pistol for Kinguin.
You gotta like how he played it. I mean, people would think, I mean, he didn't have a kit. There's no way he could stick that. His best bet was to have Manice second guess himself, so wait just long enough till the window of time in the other guy's mind that he might have a kit and has to go for it. That guy holding W then is at a significant disadvantage. You want to pull him just far enough out of cover that he has to fight you, so you have a 50-50, and then that's about as good as it's going to get, and that's what he tried to do.
Yeah. Looks like Red Reserve are trying to roll out the carpet bomb. Nobody on the receiving end of affairs, however. It is yet again the Congo line straight towards A. Not using the middle of the map, but long once more.
It is reactive,
in the exact
though.
Same spot.
It is reactive at the very least, so they're not going to go ahead and waste these nades, it seems like. Freddy does throw his. They've still got 3 in their pockets, and now they can kind of use them for the retake.
Yeah, problem being is it's very difficult to find an angle with grenades when you're coming up from the B to A site because you have that wall in your face. So if you throw a trajectory over, it tends to just blow up in the sky. And fireworks, not what you need. You're looking for the mortar. Could have stopped the bomb. Definitely good trajectory there. They know their angles. They know their stuff. But no. Everybody has cleared the bomb plant itself. And the counter-terrorists, as they do still have upgraded pistols, have something worth saving. Rusty's going to linger a little longer. And he nets himself a frag. This actually pulls the CTs back into action. There's some kills coming in on the other side of the map, but they still have to be aware of the potential site push.
As Rowlin is. And it's great that he's just kind of holding W in this situation. Again, wants to collect as many of these kills as possible. As the feeder fish that Red Reserve are right now, their goal is to avoid this because they don't even want this kill. I mean, leaving the round with an MP7 is not much of a victory. So they at least get that down, but I think Kinguin had a very nice round. Bomb plant, few kills go to the SMGs. Solid anti-eco overall. And this next up, I think it's another total save.
Should be.
Or am I lost? Yeah, okay.
Oh, a couple bells and whistles, some trinkets and doodads. Curious to see where the frags end up this time around. They seem to be, if I'm not mistaken, positioned towards barrels once more. So that's the same set piece that they tried to use in the previous round. But 2 frags, not 4.
Here we go. This is where Kinguin definitely want to step it up. They know A clean round here. It was worth its weight in gold moving into these following rounds. It's not as simple as just win this and get past it. Rowland, generally speaking, is going to be the man to watch if things go as smoothly as possible. Having the MP7. It looks like he's coming in late. But the B side has been totally forfeited. They've made a good read here and moving in quickly.
Yeah, they're at least going to get the numbers back in position, and they have full control of the short water. Obviously still so outgunned that could be very easily swept away, and the hype will die instantly, which seems to be the case. Unless Twist just skewers everyone, but absolutely not. Clean sweep from Kinguin.
And the roll-on effects is something that we're not going to necessarily be able to notice, you know? But if we do see a comeback mounted, if we do see Kinguin buy 2 rounds in a row even though they lose, that's when we'll see the benefits of having clean anti-ecos on early on.
Yeah.
It'll pay off, you know? So this is why you put money in a savings account. Same effective interest.
High interest rates, hopefully. Big paydays, and ooh, what could have been a free haircut not given away. Did that grenade just disappear in the wall?
I'm not sure.
Could have been a bug with the trajectory. Regardless, it is still smoke, so it's going to delay things a little longer. We've got Kinguin sniffing out the monster.
No Molotovs. B-site's a great site to go to right now. If you know the other team doesn't have Molotovs, go on B every day, to be honest.
This setup scares me. Sometimes that corner player just gets decimated. But doesn't seem as though it will be a variable in this scenario because the T's have decided to go the other way. Heavy B-site defense early. Red Reserve will still hold these positions, but this gives time for Kinguin to re-rotate and work the other side of the map. Problem being, Launders, you're walking into Twist, and while he doesn't have Kevlar, he does have that op. And he's got good cover. There's good positions here to jump spot. I like having an AWP player towards Bank, but he does seem scared. Flashbangs convince him back. Will trade Taz out for Disco Doplin, but the party looks to be in the favor of Kinguin because the bomb plant is theirs. And the utility for the retake comes in the form of a double flash off Rusty. No flank up from Connector. Could be Freddy B late, but he's really going to have to get those legs moving. Whoa, what a dink.
Oh, this could be something. They're not totally aware of the fact that Freddy could come up the stairs this late, but there's no one for him to immediately take down.
That's the thing, this late.
This late.
Right? You've got yourself a dink, you've got a softened target, but you don't have what is the trigger pull.
He's also seems to have signed out of this. Yeah, just wants to hold on to the guns. Alarming sign for Kinguin. They don't want to have to go through another gun round, you know, after having to work that hard to take a site.
Yeah.
It's really nice to save, especially 3 or 4 more guns. But the A site was weak there. The op was neutralized so easily.
Just a couple flashes.
One flash, Twist is at the back of Bank. You know, he's in the mailroom all of a sudden. There's not much going for them. They had a single person at the truck, but no one to stop them during bathrooms. The whole bathrooms clear out. The same criticism I had for Kinguin in the first half. Applying to Red Reserve now, there's only 3 rounds of difference.
Yeah, we are slowly getting towards even ground. Still a difference. You could argue a harder job for the terrorists than CTs. Deep smoke from Taz. That should go towards heaven.
That was a Zangief lunge.
Yep. It's the
as voiced by Connor.
The Trebuchet launch. Rusty, good position. I love this pillar. As long as you have somebody covering your cross from short, you can just fixate on the monster push, and that's where the bomb comes in. First and foremost, the device is thrown into the open, and Rusty's got cover of the barrels. He's just dishing out the damage, but he can't get an additional kill. That's going to be the problem. The T is softened up as the flank comes in from Brolin. The 16-year-old star gets a little impact, and he leaves it on the experienced players to try and get the clutch, but it's Twist and Taz. That is all that's left.
It's gone back to heaven with the AWP. Taz knows that last round Twist did have the op on A and that he's the rotator. Let's see how he plays it. Going for a big rotate back to A. This won't be heard. It's going to be on Twist to call the 50-50. Does he think that it's going to go back to this site. Looks like he's going to allow for the plant. Can't afford to get lurked on. And that's what Taz is calling upon. Definitely going back for the default plant on B would have been a dangerous choice.
Yeah, and Twist, well, he was playing to this. He was just waiting for the potential push from the B site, getting himself into a closer position here, but he shouldn't. Ooh, just walk around corners. Could have been so easily snipped. Frag Grenade will soften him up. He's lost a third of his health thanks to the utility, and Taz now hunts his head. No utility remaining, but there is a kit in play. All he needs is a sliver of an angle, a smidgen of a gap, and he knows the shadow's there. He's got to close the distance. He's going to go for the no-scope, and he gets himself the kill. Twist with the retake. Red Reserve take 12.
That was a really nice contain from Twist. Forced Taz into the 50-50, and when he called out that there was not going to be a wide swing in play, he basically made it so that he forced Taz to push here. And again, just gets ready for this. I mean, Taz was out wide enough. I'd say he made the correct move. But Taz definitely forced him into the best close-range engagement he could by coming up on that box and making sure he wasn't going to leave the other side.
What do we got unfolding this time around? There's still one op in play, and Twist is supporting Brolin, who was the forefront of the bathrooms. This two-man setup on barrels has been so consistent from Red Reserve. They haven't been playing it as long as they did at the beginning of this half, but there is still always at least 2 players within the bomb site. You'll have some CT teams that rather sit back, allow for the Ts to come in and try to go for that retake. Not this time around.
We have a reset round in play, don't we, if Kinguin win this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very important the Red Reserve can convert for another.
And remember, guys, like, it looks like it's 12-8. A reset round would mean 9-10-11, you know? 9-11, and then they're playing for the tie all of a sudden. So a lot on the line here.
Still no casualties, still no damage until that frag sinks in. Over 100 just off of a single nade, but now the kill still goes to the favor of Kinguin. Rollin finding the first, and we have Red Reserve just scrambling upwards. Again, this is a difficult position to get yourself out of, and their utility is not fantastic, but they already get the kill. I believe another wall bang.
Where's the bomb? You have to plant it while the smokes are up. Manise does get his kill in bank, but with that going down so late, the CTs can chill for a second.
And this bomb is planted from Taz on Optimus Prime, just behind the semi-truck. So this is not, in fact, for the guys towards bathroom. They're going to have to come out from their positions and clear that corner. If Freddy B is afforded a jump over the truck, then he could actually stick things. But because he's outnumbered, outgunned, and unconfident, well, he'll pay the price. His life taken by Rollin. Consistent in clearing these CTs, and we just talked about the potential reset.
Yeah,
this could be the game changer.
It could be. We'll see the ripple effect. A very important round. I mean, there's no understating that. And here it is. Once again, Kinguin easily abusing this ultra passive and kind of timid A setup from Red Reserve, where Twist is far back. One flash and he's back in bank. His teammate is left all on his own. And if there isn't a multi-frag in sight, they lose the round. That's not how you want to create a sustainable game plan for your CT side on Overpass. You're founding it on superior mechanical skill. Outgunning more than one person in a professional match is not something you see, and that's something that we laud. But it's not something that you can expect, right? That's why it's so amazing, right? That's why it's so amazing when Cold Zera gets a jumping off 4K. It's because it's not supposed to happen. You can't expect your teammates to outgun 2 or more professional players. You should try to rely on utility, setups, right? Teamwork. And instead, they have this kind of inconsistent, individualistic setup on A.
Speaking of setups, though, they do have a 2-man flank coming in. I mean, Kinguin, again, so well equipped for the situation. Huge advantage, but, okay, the jig is up. We've got Taz and Reitz with a couple entries. This should be enough to secure the bomb plant, and they're already aware of this flank coming in. So they will deal with it swiftly. Could have gotten very scary. As you can see, Rollin and Taz, the 2 players who actually opened up the bomb site and created space for the plant, were tagged in the engagement. So what happens if Mouse dies first, and then Rollin and Taz go with it, and your last 2 players are dealing with a flank on long? You've got Red Reserve robbing the round. But now, it is going to be Kinguin establishing double digits themselves. 12-10, the lead cut down once again, and I'm still uncertain as to whether we'll see a buyback. Red Reserve may have to take another on the chin.
I don't think so, because the round, maybe we'll see, but the round before, you know, not only having one person survive, then losing. After losing a few rounds, not a good formula. They do buy up. I mean, the very best see Thomas is Kinguin calling the pause, maybe to try to decipher this themselves. You know, maybe they just want to make sure they have a clean anti-eco to work with. Very good anti-ecos overall for Kinguin, just in the match in general. That last round, 4 alive. We've seen flawless ones. Making strong economic moves.
I think Kinguin's one of those teams that's just strong in those sorts of rounds, whether it be them in the anti-eco or them trying to, you know, screw up their opponent's anti-eco. Whether there's pistols in play, be it their advantage or disadvantage, I think they can make waves. They make the most of all rounds. Because remember, any round is possible, right? Steel, Joshua Nissan will tell you, can win any round. Any round. So do not take them lightly. Even in one like this, where you've got 4 USPs, $500 invested to Brolin off that CZ75. What do? A straight-up 5-man long A stack, and poor Rollin has no friends.
Hopefully, only in this particular situation in-game.
You'd hope.
You'd hope.
It's funny, right? He's mitigated this complete and utter stack. If he walks around that corner, which he didn't feel confident doing, he's dead. And instead, well, he's found some friends.
He's a good scout, very safe. I mean, he took a small warning sign, and
nope.
I think just completely extrapolated from that. Told his team that B is probably clear, and just off of that little bit of information, it was enough.
They really want him dead, though.
Oh, they're hunting him down. All these James Bond clones.
Rusty really wants this. He'll find it. Little consolation prize here, have an AK. You're still a loser in this round.
Stop projecting, Connor.
Yo, listen, it's like county fairs. Didn't you go to one recently?
A county
I feel like
fair.
I saw you winning some like stuffed animals.
I did win Rick and Morty.
Okay, then you actually did win. I take that back.
Okay, what?
You know, I
won on first attempt too.
Did you?
2 different games. They tried to separate them. They put Rick at the stand where you throw baseballs at the dishes.
Yeah.
Won that first shot. And then the other one where they have the really small net for the basketballs and you have to get 2 in a row. Nailed it first try.
It doesn't surprise me that you're a Rick and Morty fan. You really do remind me of Mr. Meeseeks.
I understood every episode, by the way.
Did you? That's not easy.
So
that's why you're a Counter-Strike analyst as well, Launders. Big brain, little hands.
I still buy the big gloves, though.
Look at this fast setup from Kinguin. They want nothing to do with that A site. Just going into B. Cutting down the lead. 1 round the difference. Remember when we saw Red Reserve flying forward with beautiful colors? Well, now things look grim. They look gray. And so do these smokes. It's going to slow things down, so you'd think. Reitz is going to go charging through it. The fire at the barrels. They're wanting to isolate any defenders that are still here. And sure enough, Rusty's got to be cautious of his head. He's trying to crouch and fall back. He needs help. He needs cover. And it is certainly in position. But will it do anything? That's the bigger question. He certainly will. A kill and an assist. But Reitz comes back with 3 of his own. Big multi-frag pushing this to twist. And down he's taken. Nice with the op shot. Kinguin another round, and we are just looking good for Kinguin. Over and over. They're adding them to the tally.
That's it. And this might be a save here. This is their 1 bye after all that time. Loss bonus will be high, but probably not high enough. I think they've got to take an L. Walk this one off, come back next round. And it probably is going to be the first time in the match where Kinguin take a numerical lead. Here, finally 13, well, might be 13-12 after this next round. Red Reserve calling a pause, talk about what's gone on. And I would say that, you know, it's actually so startling how similar they're playing the sites as Kinguin in negative ways. Even on B there, having that very passive person in CT/graffiti, and then allowing a strong monster push to overrun them. Something that we were definitely critical of with Kinguin as well, and it's just like, that's alarming because at this point they're tied. So, you know, you'd say Kinguin have a much better chance of winning this game. That's, I think, what we've learned so far.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's looking good in the sense that they do still have a huge weapons advantage, and now the kill as well. Disco Doppelin walks right into the shot. Noggin popped.
Look at the money, man.
No one shows any sign of stopping.
Clean anti-ecos have just paid off. even if Red Reserve win this, they'll have to win again. They'll have to win one more time, and then they'll have to go into a round where Kinguin have some residual income, plus loss bonus, plus 4-round loss bonus that they have to consider. Will they buy? And so even if they win 3 rounds in a row and they get to 15, they've still got to be worried about a buy. Kinguin are set right now in terms of opportunity.
Going to try to get away from any potential threat by straight up going back towards long. And you can see the CTs reeling themselves upwards. Will they get here in time? Even the short water man has a bit of a distance to cover. He's posted on the angle, but he just can't land the first shot. And sometimes with a deagle in scenarios like that, you only get one. You hit the first, you buy yourself enough time to reset and maybe add another. But this one's swiftly and quickly taken back by Kinguin. They now do have that lead.
Last chance saloon here for Red Reserve. Map 2, they're down a map. They're down 2 rounds potentially, or no, down 1 round, I think, with just a quick ending at their feet. And they've just got to pull it together because they can't afford another save. What's the setup? What do they do? 3 men out to A, 1 CT down the stairs, something that we'd like to see. Fast monster push, however, through the fire, taking damage is Kinguin, but they still come out with the first kill.
Rollin doesn't care how much flames are at his feet. He will still hit the headshot. And they know that somebody else has to be here, so they're looking for him. But it's Freddie B residing inside of the smoke. He will get himself a single kill, and as he comes out, he wants more. But Taz denies anything further here for the CTs until Twist gets his name onto the kill feed with a trade to the bomb carrier. Now what do? You've got a sniper up in the heavens. Red Reserve's Guardian Angel.
Wow.
As they're trying to deny that 14th round. Smoke flash, sure, he's got it. But Rollin, who has so consistently lurked around that B site looking for the exit frags, is now going to try and play time and make Twist sweat.
This is crazy how hard they're trying in this round to make sure that they ice out this 1v2. And it is Twist who has the watchtower. He's got a lot of advantages up here. Rollin making a big rotate around. There was actually a blind spot for him where Twist could have maybe come back through stairs. Unlikely, however, and so now Rollin here with just the info is going to have to try to not get opt. And oh, running right up the back of him with the AK, locks it up. And such a good call to try to do that.
Yeah, good call. I mean, they went for that flank because they thought it could work, and you start to question yourself, right? At what point does Twist turn his head around? When does he get an inkling as to what could go down? But this was big from Taz. Remember, he gets that assist to Disco, then kills Freddy and the initial Heaven Peak.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I really like about Taz, is that in this team, he's still putting up frags.
Definitely.
Right? He's up there. I think that a really good comparison, actually, is like you take, say, Kinguin versus E United from earlier today.
And these aren't nobodies, by the
No.
way. Like, like none of the players on Kinguin are nobody. They're all the next best players in Poland.
Yep.
Or at least were for years, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry,
I can't remember who. That's okay. It wasn't that good of a point. It actually gets us to a better point. I can't remember who gave the interview from AGO, and I wish I did. But what it essentially was, of course, was this recognition that the Polish scene has just been stagnant because there was no moves. There was no roster changes.
Yeah.
Virtus Pro was the longest standing roster, and then once they made some changes, it was AGO. And now AGO has also done that same thing, and we're getting guys like Kinguin coming out of nowhere. Again, you know, making a recent Grand Finals run at a $300,000 LAN event.
The key is to ignore your region, just pick up a couple of Cloud9 players.
Yeah.
That's the best way to solve the problem of being stagnant. Or so we'll find out.
Whoa. Gotta be cautious. Reetz ready to chomp down on Connector. Looks to take a bite out of Twist, who will continue to sit in the corner. It's actually Disco, Doblin, and Brawlin that want to get into a bit of an exchange, a foray towards the back of the B site, but look at Taz go. Easy anti-eco as far as he's concerned, and more shots downrange. The Kalashnikovs firing off. And the headshots, one after another, stack up. And once you get 3 kills on B, there's probably some more players over here, you know? In a round like this, you want those pistols to all be grouped together. You can see the hesitation.
It's the standoff. what happens? There's no chance, right, that these easies win.
You wouldn't want to think so, but they will get one.
Oh my God.
He's got the first.
Oh!
Another.
That could have been cool.
That could have been wonderful.
Yeah. He tried to be conservative with the ammo because he had so much to bite off there.
I feel like I see that floating position work. Never.
Never? It depends on the bait.
This could have been the time.
Right. The one chance to convince Scrawny that it's a good setup. But positions like that are always just so much better with the bait. That's just, the bait is what really will seal it in to even trick a smart player.
Yeah. I mean, go back to Dust 2. Same thing happened towards Car, behind that B bomb site. So we've seen it once before. And this is so quick. Look at them go. Smoke grenades already all over. Remember, Kinguin, they have 3 rounds to finish this off. Not just the second map, but the series. Sending Red Reserve packing. And back to Sweden, Taz could be the nail in the coffin. He has stopped Disco Doppelin. It's a 5v4 turn 2 because Freddy B's still up. That ops in play. Both of the CTs over towards Graffiti. Both of them trying to find some kills, and they will. Cutting it down to only a 1-man advantage. Brolin tries to be cerebral and anticipate a flank. Oh, but it's Taz and Manice. They let the dust settle, and then they seal the deal. Kinguin moving forward. Another win for them, getting out of groups and into playoffs. We've seen Red Reserve / Godsend at many DreamHack Opens this year, and this is where they tend to fall, short of playoffs. The upcomers, the newcomers, just sprinkled with experience and talent. Taz leads by example this map and this series. Handshakes all around as you've got ourselves a playoff.
A very unexpected comeback and a great 2-0 and a great map that was called extremely well, I think, from Kinguin. And towards the end, you could really see it with just that, the calls to go B, and for whatever reason, Red Reserve were not shaken by the fact that Kinguin had taken it so many times in the past. And however they conditioned them, however Taz managed to pull that off, you just got to credit them. And an 11-4 half for Red Reserve.
Excellent turnaround. But speaking of excellence, let's throw this one over to Stunna and our analysts to unpack what you've seen.
How kind of him.
Well, that was really nice. I appreciate it, Scrawny, even though Tommy said all those bad things about you as we went into that best of 3. Now, it does look like they have stayed alive. It is indeed true that Kinguin lived to fight another day, which is going to be tomorrow, actually, as they found themselves a berth. But first...
It really is a shame Red Reserve don't get a chance to rewrite the history that just happened like you did over there.
Yeah, I try. What can I say? Dust, talk to me about this game, man. What are some things that you're able to sort of look at, perhaps dissect?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't too much on Dust 2. I mean, it was just Kinguin with the big CT side of Dust 2. Everyone was playing really well. Consistent fragging as usual. This was a huge play. I thought this was like a game changer when Rollin made this thing happen. They just used that momentum to really just storm through Dust 2 and really didn't give Red Reserve a way back into the game. But then, when you move over to Overpass, T-side for the boys over at Red Reserve, they played really well. Brolin had so many multi-frags on the B bomb site to attack into it. Even had one crazy round where he got 2 spam kills through the wooden wall from short B. Twist was playing well at the AWP. Disco Doppelin had a big round. Like, they were really charging forward, but then you flip sides and Kinguin, man, like, just these explosive coordinate executes were absolutely just, beating down the walls that Red Reserve were trying to put up over there. They were patient when they needed to be as well in anti-eco rounds, and somehow they pulled that one back into the series.
You want to talk about beating down the walls? I'm talking about these numbers right here. How about that? Run me through kind of some key takeaways we got here, Tommy.
Well, you see Reed's right at the top of the scoreboard, 48 kills. Huge performance from him. Muniz and Rallen both had solid games. No one from the Swedish side really sticking out. I mean, that's a really tight spread among the bottom of the top fragger. 28, 31 kills. Just solid games, particularly from Rallen. I think he probably had the most impact considering his entries as well.
Yeah, especially on Dust 2 is really big for them.
I have a special treat for you guys.
Ooh.
Another Taz interview?
Oh my goodness, he said it. Bring him out here. Bring him out here. Hello, Victor.
Hey man, how are you doing?
Looks like another day in the office for you guys. Quite the comeback there on that last map. Where do we even begin?
Well, first of all, I'm really glad you got the win because we delayed the game for the gear. Do you think it made a difference, though?
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard to play, for mouse to play without mice. So I believe that 5v5 is better than 5v4.
You played 5v5 in the earlier games, though.
I mean, yeah, but I think that on train we were a bit unlucky. So it felt that we played a lot better now, especially on our T side. I mean, it's really, for me, it's really hard when we have like 4 rounds or 5 rounds at CT, because I know, okay, now I need to call good. It's like, I really hate this feeling to know that I need to call good. I prefer to have like 12-3 lead and know that I can do some stupid calls.
Well, it seemed to be going pretty well regardless. I mean, that overpass comeback was a thing of beauty. Talk us through that.
It's hard to say. I mean, I just really felt good about the game. I knew what we should play from the start. I kind of feel when they were going on to stack different sides, I just had a good feeling for the game. I can't really say anymore.
Yeah, it seemed like you were having a really good time at just getting entries over on the B-bomb side through Monster. You had a couple of big plays through there, including yourself. You had some entry frags, Taz. Looked like you were winding back the clock a little bit. Was there always going to be a focus on the B-bomb side? Was that like the game plan, or was that just like something you read midway through the half?
I believe it depends on the team we play against. It depends on how we play. It depends on the game, like on the flow of the game. When we feel that B is open, B is easy, we go for B. When we feel A is open, A is easy, we do different attacks on A. It's always about the opponent. It's how they play, the small details.
So so talk us through what's coming up next. You're obviously through to the semis. So that's, I guess, the first goal achieved here. But, you know, what's your toughest opposition?
Man, we have Polish Derby upcoming, right? So that's going to be fun. We are going to play against AGO, right, in the semifinals. So I'm looking forward to this. And I believe that they're on a really high note at the moment. But all the teams that will be in semifinals can win it. Imperial looked a lot better today. AGO looks very solid. Even against Luminosity, they were very solid and calm and collected. So I'm just going... it's going to be fun to see how the guys play one day without thinking about missing gear, you know. Even before this game, we were running around and buying stuff from people from Bayek. We borrowed some from Imperial, so thank you very much to the boys from Imperial. That's funny, you know. Last event we were screaming at each other, and now they're borrowing the gear, so that's why we love esports, right?
So eloquently said, as always. Thank you, Taz. Congratulations. Go get some rest, man.
Thank you. Stana, for you, I just changed the t-shirt, so I know.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Spam your foreheads in chat for Taz, the Polish Devil. We might have. I don't think that really has as much of a ring to it. Kind of like the ring that you could probably get on your cellular device whenever you have the Strafe Esports app. That's the only way to follow through with these games and these matches across all tournaments across the globe. Grab the Strafe Esports app like Dust Moret has.
Yeah, I'm using those A&D keys over here right now. Strafing.
Nice. Okay, well, in that note, we're going to go to a break and come back with our last best of 3 of the day. It is the final elimination best of 3, the final decider here on the second to last day of the DreamHack Open Montreal. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.